Well, today I'm on a geode hunt. I'm down in I don't know, I'm going to call it a secret location provided to me by my friend Jeff of Hunting Rocks. I will make sure that his channel is tagged in the description below, and we're going to see what we can find. I know Jeff was here about a week or so ago, so hopefully he left us something. And Jeff, if you see this, thank you for sharing this location, and please tell me you left me some geodes to find. I haven't quite started yet, but I will be starting here in just a second. I just wanted to make sure I filmed this intro and take a look at this. There's a lot less water than the last time I was here. A few trees are down, so downstream, I don't know if I'm going to get too far down, but I'm going to start looking. So as soon as I find anything, if Jeff left me something, then I will have the camera back on and I'll let you know what I find. I will be back in just a moment. Alright, I found one that's in the ground, so let's dig it out of there, see how big it is. I think it's solid because I don't hear any rattle. And a lot of these down here, when they're hollow, they'll have loose crystals in them, so they will shake, but I don't hear anything, so I'm still going to take it because sometimes they will still have a lot of color to them. And so, you know, I can still do something with them. I know a lot of people will call them duds. I don't. I see them as an opportunity. You know, I can slice them a little thin and make them into, you know, sun catchers, or, you know, the small ones can even make some pretty neat looking fan poles. You know, the knobs that are on your ceiling fans. So, let's keep looking here. Oh, there's a little guy right here. Let's see. Yeah, he doesn't shake, but you know, the little ones, you never quite know with the small ones. Sometimes the crystals are just solid in there. It doesn't feel terribly light for its size, but it's still a geode and it's small. I can cut it with my small saw. So I don't see it as a problem. So let's keep hunting. Let's see what. Wow, I just turned off the camera. Actually, I forgot to turn it off, so there's some stuff that's got to be edited out. But anyway, that being said, take a look at the rings and bands in this thing. Wow. I don't know. I'm not too sure that it's agate, but my gosh, look at that. That is wild. I love that. And I hope those reds and yellows and almost looks like maybe purple going through that. This side I don't see too much, but man, you get up there. Yeah, I'm going to have to try doing a little cutting on that. That is wild looking. Man. Yeah. I'll definitely show this to a couple people at the Missouri. I'm going to be at Hawks Bluff for their Druzy Days, excuse me. But Saturday they're going to have a geologist that's going to be there, and they said bring a rock to identify. Well, I think this might be the one, because this is either a really wild banded chert or it's a really cool agate that I don't know what type it would be, but wow, this is cool. So yeah, this definitely comes back with me. I will see you in just a few minutes when I find something else, or I wrap this up, because I think I'm about ready to turn around and head back now. So I will see you in just a few minutes. Okay, I'm back, and I hope that's coming out on the microphone, but that one definitely rattles, and it sounds like it's a pretty good sized crystal. I made it to the other side of this little bit of a tree jam. It was a little bit of hike through the trees and weeds, but I'm back to gravel, and I see a lot of geodes. A lot of them have been, I haven't videoed everything, but there are a lot of solids, which is to be expected. So I'm not filming just everything, but here in this location, you see a lot of these little guys, which are kind of cool. I've cut a few of them open and you know, polished the faces, but they do, in my experience, the small ones do tend to be solid. I've got a few of them at home in my shop that have little hollows, but yeah, this is another one that it's definitely solid. I think Mrs. Arts is throwing stuff at me.
Oops, I missed. It's solid.
Not the one I just picked up. Oh. But no, there's a lot of, it looks like I'm seeing some, let me put these down for a second. This does look like a coral polyp. I have no idea when it comes to fossils what these things are. I'm sorry about the shoddy camera work here, but yeah, I've seen a lot of coral. I've picked up a lot of coral from this particular creek. So yeah, I mean, that's here too, in abundance, as a matter of fact. I'm always on the lookout for the silicified corals, because those are pretty cool. But let's see what else we got over here. I'll take you on a little walk with me. But yeah, there are a lot of solids, but I find those interesting too. I don't mind taking some of the small and medium-sized little ones. But I think it's solid, but it's small enough, I'll take it. Let's see, let's go over here and see what we see. I mean, there's definitely not a lack of geodes to be found down here. You know, when I asked about Jeff finding them all, even if he had found all the, you know, a lot of the good ones, there's so many, unless he brought a dump truck down here, there's no way to, I don't think there's really any way to get them all, for sure. And it looked to me like he was being pretty picky. This is closer to him than it is me, so he comes down here more, and I'm sure he's found a lot of, well, I know he's found a lot of good stuff because I've seen the videos. I do enjoy his channel and his rock hunts. One of these days, I'd like to meet Hamilton and everything. Sorry, I'm getting kind of choppy, but the water's getting a little high on my boots, and I really don't want to flood them. I think I'm going to be okay because it looks like it's going to start to slope back up. The scum on the top, all this algae and stuff, it makes it a little hard to see in places how deep it is, and I can feel the cold through my boots, so if I flood them, it's going to be probably a little less than refreshing, but just outright cold. But anyway, let's keep going. Let's follow this downstream and see see what we see. I've scared quite a few toads with my heavy footsteps. If I was required to be sneaky, I'd be in a lot of trouble, because I've stepped too heavily to be sneaky. Sorry about that sudden cutoff. I hit one of the buttons on my phone here, and but I'm at a patch of a lot of gravel here, and so hopefully I'll find something. I'll turn the camera back on here momentarily when I find something interesting. Hopefully a good rattler, or maybe a nice colorful piece of chert, because I'm looking for that too. Anything really that I can cut that will polish up pretty is what I'm looking for. But we'll be back as soon as I see what I can find here that's interesting. Take a look at this one. It's broken open, but it's got a very thin wall, which is, now let me get it back in frame here. There we go. We're back in frame, maybe. Let's get the bag off here. Take a look at that. It's got a really thin wall full of sand. Let's dump that out. Well, focus, come on. There we go. Yeah, I think with a little cleanup, that one will look cool. I think I'm going to take that one. Well, sorry, you're getting to see a lot of my hand there. But yeah, it's got a, underneath this husk, this white right there at my thumb, that's quartz, pretty sure. Yeah, that's quartz. And it's got some, I mean, it's beat up. It's been in the water. It's a little beat up, but I think with a little TLC and maybe even a little iron out or something, I think those should clean out and be really pretty. So I'm going to put that in this little side pocket to protect it. That's actually for a water bottle, but today it's for that fragile geode. So, and I saw a couple more here. Here's one. Well, nope, that's not. It fooled me. I think I'm pretty sure that's just chert, because, well, yeah. There's air pockets in it, but it's not crystals. It's, I'm pretty sure that's just chert, but it fooled me. Which isn't hard, because I'm hardly an expert. Oh, there's one right here by my bag. Let's check that one out. That's a nice sized. Let me back out here a little bit. There we go. Let's see if she rattles. Nope. No rattle, but I'll keep it anyway. Later on, when I separate them out, I'll pull the rattlers out and keep them aside. Here's another broken one. The outer husk, the edges are a little thicker. And there are crystals in there, but they are so badly beaten up. I'm not going to keep this one. So let's keep up the hunt. Let's see what else is down here, because there's a lot of gravel to cover. And I'll keep hunting and we'll see what we find. I'll be back in a second. Alright, here's an interesting looking one I just spotted. And I'm pretty sure that's a geode. It looks like it might be, or might have been, a double. This one's a little flat. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's solid, but because of its shape, it's a little on the flat side. The bottom's a little more round, but I don't hear a rattle. It's interesting for sure, but I don't think it's going to be interesting enough for me to hang on to. So I'm going to keep on hunting. Oh, sorry about that. Here, we'll take a look at this one. I saw this one. I hope the camera's picking up some of that sparkle in this one. There's a lot of... There's a little bit in there. I can see it. I don't know if that's just quartz on the outside or if it's just silicone, like silicone crystals. But This might be a solid chunk of quartz. It's definitely heavy for its size, and you know, with this, no, that's a broken piece of geode. It's just really beat up, and there are remnants of quartz crystals in there. I don't know how well you can see them. The sun's making it hard for me to see through the camera, at least. But it looks to me like there are some yeah, there's some quartz in there, but it's all beat up, and I'm not going to keep it. But you know, I mean, this is just a chunk, so I mean, the whole thing was probably pretty good size. That's interesting. So I mean, there's probably some big stuff here. We just need some rain to probably need some rain to stir things up. So let's keep up the hunt. Okay, this is just too funny. Someone has piled up a bunch of them. I set my bag down right next to it. I didn't see it until I went to pick my bag up. So let's check these out. Oh, this one rattles. So that's cool. That's chert. It's kind of pretty, but I don't know if it's anything I want to really work with. I don't think that's a geode anyway. I think it's a broken up piece of limestone. So let's dig through here a little bit. A lot of other stuff. Oh, that's a piece of coral that they've picked up. That's a nice size piece, but I've got quite a bit of this. I've got family in Kentucky, and I've gone down there and picked some of this kind of stuff up. It's pretty plentiful here along, you know, you get down into, you get down a little bit around St. Louis area, and you know, kind of that part of southern Illinois. You find a lot of these. Looks like it might have some silicated stuff in there, but my experience with these is when you cut them, it's so porous that they don't really take a good polish, and they're pretty common down here, so I'm not going to mess with that one. But there's I'll tell you what, I hope that red is coming through here, but that is really kind of cool looking. I'm going to have to see if these pits are very deep. That's kind of a cool looking piece. Probably quartzite, maybe with some feldspar in it, maybe. That's probably what's giving it the pink, or maybe some iron, I don't know, but I'll definitely keep that one. And there's some baby ones in there. They don't really rattle. Here's a pretty decent sized one. Yeah. It doesn't rattle. I don't think it's hollow anyway. There's a few little ones there. Nope, that one doesn't rattle. Here's another one. No. Let's see. Let's take a look here. Nope. No, well, that's about all I see in there. I might try to. Sorry about that. I keep messing up here, but this is chert. But I like the reds and the potential yellow in it, so I'll cut the face off at some point and see if that'll polish up. Maybe it's thick enough. Maybe get a slab or two out of it, and you know, if the reds and everything run through it like it looks like it might, that could make some nice pendants or earrings or something. So let's throw that one in the bag. And I really don't see anything else, so I think I'm going to pile this stuff back up because somebody had piled it up. So let's Let's put some of that stuff back. And there we go. So let's continue the hunt, and I will be back when I find something else. Okay, I just picked up this piece of chert. It's got a lot of really neat kind of swirly patterns in it, so I think I'm gonna face this guy and maybe polish him just the way he is. That's pretty cool looking, and it's got kind of that waxy feel that a lot of your your jaspers and quartzy rocks will have, or even chalcedony. It'll have that kind of waxy feel. The back's not too pretty, but I think some of that is just some staining that I could probably just grind that off, because it's not too wavy. A little bit of grinding and that could be flat, and there's some nice bands in it, so let's keep going. Okay, well, I think this is the end of the hunt. The sun's going down and the rocks are getting a little harder to see. I've been finding some non-geodes that have been fooling me, so next time you see me, I'm either going to be set up at Druzy Days, or I'm going to be set up at home, and we'll take a look at what all I've got. So I will see you in just a second. Well, here we are. We're back home, and I gotta say the Grafton hunt was pretty successful. I picked up 3 of these large geodes. I found this. It's still dirty. It needs cleaned, but there are a lot of pretty nice looking crystals in there. And then I couldn't resist picking up these little baby ones. And then here are my medium sized. I'll back out here so you can see it. And quite a few of those. And then, of course, the missus, she had her stack of little ones. And then her stack of medium ones. So, for only being there for, I think we were maybe down there for 2 hours. And she found some broken ones that we thought they would clean up really nice, but she found a really big one I'm anxious to clean up too, and then her big ones. But for 2 hours, I think this was a pretty good haul. A lot of them rattle, so that means they're hollow and have some loose crystals in, which I save those little ones. And then as far as I'm concerned, the crown, I've still got to show you the crown jewel, but I also picked up some chert. There's a nice piece of banded chert there, a red jasper, and then this just had some fossils in it that I wanted to try to polish just to see if it will. And then just some cherty pieces, another piece that had some banded chert. I'm gonna try to cut a face off of this and put it under a black light to see if it will glow, because I'm not sure if that's calcite. If it is, it's a big old chunk of calcite, or it's quartzite maybe. And then here's another, I thought, interesting looking piece of chert. But the crown jewel of my finds is this beauty I'm about to show you. You saw it before when I found it. But I now have it on good authority that the matrix is chert, but because of the way these bands are, I can call that agate. So I am calling it agate, and I will probably post a video of cutting this and getting a polish on it, because there are some really cool... There's a lot of really cool banding in there that some of it will make really nice jewelry. Particularly this part, because it looks like that. The center of that eye, to me, at least in brighter light, the lighting's terrible. I apologize for that, but that eye looks like a very light blue almost. So I'm kind of curious to see what that all looks like. But there's some nice pieces of it in there that I think would make pretty nice looking jewelry. And then I'd like to cut part of that and you know, get a face cut off of it and polish it, and definitely goes into my personal collection. But I think that is just absolutely stunning. So I'll have to post some short videos later of cutting some of these, but let me back out so you can kind of see the whole thing here. Those are our Grafton finds. And you may have noticed a couple of extra things I haven't shown yet, but a big shout out and thank you to Jeff of Hunting Rocks. He brought me these geodes from Grafton, and he also gifted me something that I have never worked with, and so that will probably be a video on its own later. But he brought me some Wonderstone. And take a look at that eye. If you've seen his video where he was getting Wonderstone, you'll probably remember him picking this one up and showing it off. And he gave it to me, so I'm going to try to do my best to give that a good polish. So I'm curious to see how that'll look. The color and lines in this, especially when wet. Like I say, these are going to be a video on its own probably. So this is probably getting to be a very long video. I haven't really paid attention to how much I've actually recorded here, so I'm going to end the video here. And if you do me a big favor, like, subscribe, share, and comment. You know, tell me what you want to see, places maybe you'd like me to go and do some hunting if you like these kind of videos, or if you want to see more cutting videos. I'm still very new to this, so I thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye. Okay, remember this guy from our hunt down at Grafton? Well, I cut it, and it turns out it is not agate. It's more of a banded chert. I really don't see much in the way of agate. I mean, there are some fine bands in it. So I'll slice this down a little bit more. But the color that you see, like right there, it does not go through. It's just, it's staining on the outside apparently. But I'm still gonna slice it and see what else is under there. But unfortunately it is not agate. It is definitely a banded chert. So that was a little disappointing, but at the same time, it's still got some potential. So not bad, I don't think, but not as exciting as I initially thought it would be.